Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another Clean With Me video. Now this is part 10 of 10. Now when I show you the end of the room, there's still areas that needs to be cleaned up, but I'm wondering if that should be like part of like organize with me, because it's more like organization more than like, I guess cleaning is organizing, organizing is cleaning. But you'll see I still have a few more hot spots. Now, someone had left a comment and said, you need a file folding cabinet. And I already had one, and I showed you that way back. I used to keep my die cuts in the file folder cabinet like this, not these digital files, but die cuts. So this was downstairs in the basement, so I got Dave to bring it up. But I had a sneaky suspicion that I would not have enough room for all the digital files, and I was right. There is one whole section that I'm not able to put it in there, but at least most of them are now in a filing cabinet. Now, I haven't labeled each file folder yet. I found a drawing that either Kate or Josh had done, so it was really cute. I put it back so that it would stay there. And then I started putting the digital files in. And of course, I did the top one first because I want to go from A to Z. But then it got top heavy and it was falling over on me. So I ended up starting with, the V, the viewfinders at the very back and at the bottom, and then making my way back so that way there would be weight on the bottom shelf, so that when I was working on the top one, it wasn't topping over. Now I might look at getting another file folder cabinet because, like I said, there's probably 15 files that didn't fit in there. But not just that, the ones that are in that filing cabinet, they're very tight. So if I could, divide it up a little bit more, and, all our new digital files, I'm not going to have any room to put them in. So it sure filled it up, and I'm going to try using it this way. I definitely like not having a bunch of files, on that table. I really like that, not having that. So except for that one little one right there, that's all that's left. And now, I'm fixing that table. And if you remember when I'm just showing you how tight it is. When I did the dividing of my digital files, I had 2 iris containers that I started putting them in, and they're sitting on top of my printer. And I said, I don't really like that. So there they are right there. And I like them on that table. I have, these calendars that I like to plan my week, and they're going to fit on there nicely. Now, today, the plan was to clean my sink, right? That was number 10. I left it till the very last. But man, did I really push it to the end, because I really did not want to clean that. Now I'm just showing you, I have this little area now that's all done up for my Copic coloring. I even brought my Misty over there, and like everything is right there. I even brought over my Rascog that's with a lot of that, stuff that I have for coloring. And I had colored a couple of little girls yesterday extra. I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to try my Hammermill cover stock, because I just don't want to pay $70 for 250 sheets for Nina cardstock. Now, I found someone that said, I use, the Hammermill cover stock. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. That's what I have for my digital files. So I painted or colored a couple little girls yesterday, and I absolutely love it. So I'm so glad that I won't be buying the Nina cardstock. I'm just showing you that third place for the markers. I did put my watercolor markers in there, and now everything is right here, and I love it. Okay, now I'm a little afraid to show you this. It is so bad. Now, let's start by saying that, yes, I know it's bad. 2, this is a crafting sink. So it's not as if, like no dishes were in there or anything like that. It's just a crafting sink. And the last few months, whenever I would do something with mixed media, I would wash it right away because it would be even worse than this. I just couldn't even imagine getting this sink done. It was just so bad. There was so many templates to wash, so many brushes to wash. You'll see, we're going to go through all of them. But I couldn't even imagine washing all of that in the sink the way it was. So I took everything out. I'm going to wash the sink. I don't know if you guys have tried the Dawn spray. Oh, that stuff, man, it's good. Between that and the soap that I make, I call it the crafter's soap, I got everything off that sink, and I cleaned up all my templates. Now, I noticed something too when I was doing this. I said to Dave, I don't think they put the sink level because the water pools on one side, like even at the end, once everything is all washed up, I have to kind of swoosh the water out. So that didn't help. But I want to make sure everything is all clean. I'm going to clean the sink first. And I'm using the Dawn Power Wash. That's what it's called. That stuff is really good. And you can wash dishes with it, everything. I use it to wash the top of my stove. Like, I use it for everything. It's just amazing. But like I said, the sink was so bad that I didn't even want to wash the templates and all of that. So at this point, the sink is clean. So I'm putting some Dawn Power Wash, and it makes bubbles. And I end up, I think, draining the sink 3 or 4 times because the water is pretty disgusting. And I just take every piece that was in that sink and I give it a scrub and I rinse it. And then on my desk, this is why, cleaning my desk, the first thing was definitely the right thing to do, because there's not an area of this room that I cleaned that I didn't use my desk to either sort, or in this case, I put 2 big towels down and I just put everything on there to dry while I was washing the next piece. And at some point, I use so much hot water, then I run out of hot water. So I'm like, okay, well, I want hot water, because putting like all the templates with the paint and everything in the hot water, like for example, that template that I'm doing right now, I literally did a bit of it and would put it back in the hot water and then move on to something else and come back to it maybe 3 or 4 times. And then by the 3rd or 4th time, then I was able to finally clean everything off that template. Another thing that I was thinking, wow, this is great that I'm doing this now, because over on Patreon for the month of August, we're doing mixed media. And a lot of my mixed media templates and tools were in that sink. So now everything is all washed up. Another thing, like I said, I know believe me, as I was scrubbing on this stuff, and I was like, if you would have just cleaned that when it was wet, it would have been 2 minutes. But I didn't. Lesson learned. And, there's a lot of factors that come into that. Back in November, I got the big C. And literally from November till probably early April, mid-April, late April, I literally had no energy, like zip. And I would go and I would, do the layouts, do the videos that I had to do for Patreon, and it would take everything out of me. And just doing my regular stuff, for our house, like cleaning the dishes and vacuuming and making our bed and doing laundry, I was only able to get that kind of stuff done. And then I was done. Like, I was just exhausted. Now, thankfully, in May is when I really started noticing the difference. I started getting my energy back. And don't forget, at the end of March, I started babysitting my 1-year-old granddaughter too. So that kind of took a bit of adjusting too. So now I'm finally in a spot where, I have some energy. Like, literally, this took me, just the sink took me an hour and a half to wash everything. And then you're going to see in a little bit here, I'm going to drain the sink again. And then the water was cold, and we're going to go and we're going to dry all the templates that I've washed and all the stuff that I've watched, and I'm going to put it away. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you at the end of the day, this is my thing to do on Sundays now. I'm going to make sure that my desk is clean. So my desk is completely clean. And then I'm always going to sweep my floor. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash that sink every Sunday. Now, like I said, the bad zones, I guess, in my craft room, they're all taken care of. Now, there's always, little things. Like, I was looking at the desk where I keep my Copics and that kind of stuff, that desk there. On top of that desk, there's a few areas there that I want to clean, but I'm going to call that organizing. So next week, we're going to start organizing my craft room. I don't want to stop. And part of the organizing, right, is going to be to make sure that at the end of that day, I'm going to make sure everything's put away. So at this point, I have hot water again, and I'm going to keep cleaning. Another factor that I find too is that I'm doing all of this on the weekends, right? Because during the week I'm just too busy. And when Mason's hockey starts, that's going to be hard fitting this in again. But I'm going to try. There's a lot of weekends. We went away from either Thursday to Sunday or Friday to Sunday, 4 weekends in a row. Well, if I'm not home, it's hard to get anything done. So, but if I can start the hockey season, right? I have all summer. So if I can start hockey season and I'm in a good place here, then, in my craft room, then I should be able to keep up with it, hopefully. Now, another little series that I'm going to start is there's, specific spots in my house that I want to get kind of organized, totally organized. For example, the next thing I want to do is clean out my fridge. Hasn't been too long, maybe 3 months since I've done it. I mean, it's bad, but it hasn't been like 6 months or a year, but it's time to get it done. I want to wash the outside of my cupboards. That too, I did it, 2-3 months ago, but it needs to be done again. So maybe, we can motivate each other to kind of get things that we need to get done. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've received so many messages of people saying, this is so encouraging to me. My craft room was a disaster. So I just, you've encouraged me to clean up my craft room. So, we can always use the motivation to get things done. And a little thing here is it's motivation for me to get it done too. So I'm going to start doing Clean With Me, but it's going to be in my house. Like I want to reorganize my bookshelves. There's so many other things that I want to do. And I think if I film it, then it's an accountability thing, you know, like, okay, I said I was going to do this, so now I'm going to do it. At this point, like I said, it's been an hour and a half and my back is killing me. And I'm like, but I'm not stopping. This is getting done. At this point, I'm basically done. I'm just finishing off on a few things and I'm draining the sink one more time. And this will be the final cleanup of the sink. And I'm really excited about it at this point. And another thing that it made me realize too is this corner of the room is super dark. So I think I want to put a shelf right above my sink, which is going to be more like decorative. Like I can put, some decorative stuff up there. And then I don't have any plugging on that side of the room, but I can buy one of those strips with batteries. And because I'm not going to have it turned on all the time, like a strip of light. And then I can have light here. So when I'm, cleaning the sink or whatever, cleaning whatever I'm doing, I'm going to have some light because I found it kind of hard to get that done. So I'm just showing you the sink is perfectly clean. I know it looks kind of yellow, but it's not. It's the shadows. It's really given off a yellow tinge. So I'm just showing you this was the end of the day. My desk is clean. I still don't know what I'm going to do with those file folding things, so I just kind of put it there for now. See that Rascog right there? That's what we're going to do next weekend. Next to my printer, I put one of those file folding things, and I put everything that I use for printing. So that was perfect. And on that desk there, I was actually making buttons. So, I was actually working on a project, which you'll see a video of that coming shortly. And I want to show you, yay, Dave put 2 of my punch holders here. And then he had already put those up on the wall, but I wanted one behind me for the circles, and there it is. So that's it. That's gonna complete this session of Clean With Me. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.